And now, broadcasting from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in beautiful Old Town, Fort Collins, Colorado. It's Live at Lunch here on KRFC 88.9 FM, streaming live worldwide at krfcfm.org. Support for Live at Lunch comes from Camas Credit Union. Today's guest just released a brand new album, Common Ground, and has a residency at the 2 Fives, formerly Black and Blue Brews in Loveland, Colorado, on select dates once a month. I'm your host today, David V., and today's musical guest is the Wild Elderberries.
Song's called New Mexico. This old adobe'll turn to dust one of these days. And there's a cottonwood out in the yard, just a little bit of shade. Ditch out back is dry again. I thank the Lord the well is deep. The garden will provide again. It seems not to mind the heat. Oh, the clouds above my head and the dust upon the ground. Is it ever gonna rain again on this wind-blown farm? Life on the mesa, on these high desert plains. Darling, take a walk with me through the pinyons and the cedars and the sage. They say an unexamined life is just not worth the time it takes. Oh, I never thought about it much. I just took it day by day. Now it's just you and me. I guess the wind blew the kids away. Darling, take a walk with me through the pinyons and the cedars and the sage. Sometimes I gaze upon this land. It's a comfort to behold how everything else can just slip away. You just never know. But there's a breeze tonight and the moon will light the way. Oh, darling, take a walk with me through the pinyons and the cedars and the sage.
That was New Mexico. This next song is called Deeper in the Weeds, and it's kind of a shout out to all the parents out there, because raising kids, you're never done. And so I'm going to send this out to my grandkids over there in Fort Collins.
You could say I'll wear my heart on my sleeve. People like me must seem naive, reading people like a book. You poke a heart, it bleeds, while we wander deeper in the weeds. It's simple to be cynical. The world's just sand and clay. The truth is truth and easy to betray. But the toughest armor's hollow, and the plow somehow succeeds, while we wander deeper in the weeds. Wish that I could promise you some happy ever always, as if just a wish could bring better days. All these moments passing by like shadows on the street, like dreams that rest on people you'll never meet. Everybody wears a crown with a little up their sleeve, learning to survive just like we. And every day I hope you'll find some happy, ever always. 2, 3, 4.
The Wild Elderberries here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. And let's introduce the band now. And start out with Jack Lainson on co-lead vocals and guitar and harmonica there from Berthoud, Colorado, and at least currently. And co-lead vocals and guitar, Bill Aspinwall from Loveland. Bass, Sam Fuqua back there from Boulder. and Steve Jackson from Boulder on the drums, and mandolin Bob Jefferies, also Loveland, Colorado. How's it going, guys?
Great.
Good.
Good, excellent.
Good.
So New Mexico and Deeper in the Weeds are both from the brand new album, Common Ground. And
they are.
why don't you tell us a little bit about the new album and how it came about, where you recorded it, things like that?
Sure.
Yeah, we recorded all of the tracks at Cinder Sound Studios in Longmont with John McVeigh and his assistant Kyle, and love John. Just a great place. He does great work with original material and a lot of other things. It's a full service studio, but great guy. We did it over a period of maybe 6 months on into mastering, and kind of got, we probably recorded 15, 16 songs, but came down to 10. And
Got enough for at least an EP now, too.
yeah, exactly.
There you go. Well, now you and Jack are the two main songwriters, it looks like, from the album cover anyway.
That's it.
And so you guys come in with pretty much the finished product and say,
Yeah.
show it to everybody, and then
Stuff we've been playing out. So, yeah. And we're pretty well rehearsed, so we get in, make efficient use of the studio.
good. So when it comes to the contributions from everybody else in the band, you just kind of give them an idea of what you're thinking and the feel of the song, or they come in
We
and,
try to come with kind of whole cloth. These are really good players, and so the contributions that they make, a lot are around how we're going to create the feel and kind of where we want to land on the song. Steve helps a lot with rhythm. Sam helps a lot with structure and bass, and Bob's got great melodic ideas. So we try to just work it, but the songs are essentially Bill and I write the songs.
Great.
And some of it's collaboration. He and I write songs together too.
All right. What brought you guys together originally?
Yeah.
Well, a couple different things. Jack and Sam have actually been playing one-off type things for 20 years,
Yeah.
quite some time. And I met Jack and Bob separately. Actually, we're trying to put another band together with Bob and a couple other guys, and it just didn't work. Great guys, but didn't work. And then when that fell apart, I invited Bob to join us, and we actually found Steven through Peter Lopez with Widespread Hispanic.
Yep.
And Peter recommended Steven, and it took like 5-10 minutes, and we knew Steven was the guy.
I said, I've got this band called the Wild Elderberries, and I said, I love that song, that name. So,
All right. And speaking of that, what brought you the mandolin? The lightest instrument here in the band.
well, I started off playing classical piano as a kid, and
Really?
then guitar, and I don't know, somewhere along the line years ago, I went to a bluegrass festival and heard the mandolin and all the instruments and the blend, and I just loved the music. I got smitten with it, so I went down the bluegrass, slippery slope, and started learning Bill Monroe, and also so many great players, John Reichman,
Sam Bush, anybody like that?
John
that
Paul
you're-
Jones from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
well, yeah.
great mandolin player.
Well, if you think about it, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I heard that, and then I heard the bluegrass, and then that took me to the Irish and jazz and swing, and back to classical. Bach, Vivaldi, and yeah, it's kind of taken over. It's taken over my life. So.
All right. Is that your main one and only there?
Yeah, I've had this for like 40 years. I bought it brand new.
What brand is that?
It's the Ramsey. John Ramsey is a great luthier down in Colorado Springs, and just heard about and had seen his instruments, so I went down there, and he had a couple blocks of curly maple. He said, "This is going to be my next mandolin."
Wow.
I said, "I'll take it."
And maple, hard wood to
It
work
turned
with.
out to be
yeah.
a good one. It's a
Nice tone.
great tone, and just love it. It's my longest relationship.
Even the mother of pearl hand rest there in a
Yeah,
Nice.
It's it's road worn.
road one. And speaking of instruments, Jack, why don't you tell us a little bit about your Gibson there?
Well, I got this guitar in a trade. There were several things involved in the trade. There was an automobile, some fluids, whiskey, some contraband and some cash, and I wound up with a guitar. It's a 1942 Gibson. They made about 40 of them that year. Dylan's got one, and I got one.
Robert Zimmerman, that is.
And Dylan and I have the same birthday, so we have the same birthday and the same guitar. He doesn't play his on stage, and he's got a lot of other guitars. So anyway,
I think you got the good end of that deal anyway.
I did.
Sounded
The
like you
car
gave a lot
was
for
on
it,
its
but-
way out, so whiskey didn't last long.
So you've taken good care of it. You've had it for what, 40 years maybe?
Yeah, almost 50. I got it in 1977. So, yeah, it came out from underneath somebody's bed in an old case in Missouri, and a pal of mine, Roscoe, brought it to me and said, "Jack, this is your guitar." He was right.
Well, all right. So New Mexico and Deeper in the Weeds were both from the brand new album Common Ground. We want to hear some more new music, and I guess Little Blue River's coming up next here, and Passport. Both those are from the new album.
Yeah.
Probably have time for Guatemala too. Now, I did notice Guatemala's not on the new album. Is that an older one?
It is an older one, yeah.
Okay.
We'll try to get to it.
All right. Well, I think we could do the next three. How about that?
Sure.
All right.
This next tune is Little Blue River. Just a real quick backstory. David and I are both from Nebraska, actually, same hometown, not too far from where we grew up. I knew an old farmer there who had a piece of land that had never been plowed. And one day I asked him why, and he said that his grandfather had, the day he was going to plow it, had gone out there, and there were 4 Pawnee Indian riders on that land. And nobody said anything, but some gestures were made, and they realized that this was sacred ground to them, so he never plowed it. And then he told me this. He said when he was 7, 8 years old, he'd go out to the barn in the wintertime to feed the horses, and usually after a fresh snowfall, and he would find the manes and the tails of the horses that had been braided. And I thought that was a remarkable image and a remarkable story, and he said that they did that clear up until the 1930s. Song's called Little Blue River. Across the Little Blue River, one summer day, he was standing by the road with a shovel in his hand. Hard work was all around him, I guess it never goes away. I could tell he was a solitary man. Quarter section dry land farm by the Little Blue. Only one left to plant the seed and pray for rain. And he'd get a little time in the winter when the days got shorter to work on his tractor for the planting in the spring. And like his daddy and grandpa, he kept a fallow pasture on the Little Blue ground they never plowed. It was just a little bit of the prairie among the cottonwoods and the willows, there to hold the past, a keeper of a vow. Grandpa was a sod buster, hard as the ground he stood upon. A 2-horse team, a John Deere plow, he's walking till the sun went down. He had one eye on the weather, both hands upon the plow. One way or another, it's got to get done somehow. Early one spring morning, 4 Pawnee Indian riders watching from the tall grass where he was about to plow. And though no words were spoken, through a few simple gestures, a promise was made that day. This was sacred ground. The Pawnee came one winter night on the Little Blue.
Snow was falling, they were gone before the dawn. They braided the tails of the horses, they wove feathers in their manes. Did their work in darkness, never woke the dogs. Wild geese are honking out on the little blue. Hear a lone one calling out across the winter moon. The earth's so cold and frozen, she's gathering starlight. Bonnie spirit rising, spring is coming soon. Bonnie came one winter night on the little blue. Snow was falling, they were gone before the dawn. They braided the tails of the horses, they wove feathers in their manes. They did their work in darkness, they never woke the dogs. I crossed the little blue river one summer day. He was standing by the road with a shovel in his hand.
Okay, this next song is called Passport. And I guess the premise is, yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea to keep your passport current. You just never know. Some say the past is like a foreign land with archaic customs you can't understand. Now you're wondering if innocence is happenstance or planned. Sorting through the tangled past, the hopes and fears of your 2 years before the mast. Now you wonder if forgiveness is the only thing that lasts. Hang on to your passport, boundaries always change. Refugees and natives sometimes are the same. There's no time for reverie, contemplation costs. The war on peace of mind just needs to get lost.
think of, no one's heard of yet. Now you're jumping on a hidden tightrope with no safety net. Hang on to your passport, boundaries always change. Refugees and natives sometimes are the same. There's no time for reverie, contemplation costs. The war on peace of mind just needs to get lost.
Dogs are barking at the birds in the night, and the moon is over the saber tree. We can go where we will, we can do whatever we like, and tomorrow may go swimming in the sea. Well, I have been away, soon I will return. There's a longing in my heart for many things. Time and time again, it doesn't matter what we said, only what we did in the end. The end. The end. The mountains by the sea, they are burning the sugar cane. You can see the fire from the road. In the plaza they come and go, and they'll sell you what they made in the colors of the heart and of the soul. Well, I have been away, soon I will return. There's a longing in my heart for many things. Time and time again, it doesn't matter what we said, only what we did in the end. The end. In the end. The sandy beach beside the ocean, where the waves beat the rhythm of the moon. all of the words we've said, they're like sand on the water, and they just don't matter when I make love to you. Well, I have been away,
Soon I will return. There's a longing in my heart for many things.
time and time again. It doesn't matter what we said, only what we did in the end. The end. The end. In the end.
The Wild Elderberries here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. All right. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting variety in that. I heard a little Neil Young influence on the Little Blue River, and Guatemala, it's almost like you guys are on the beach, apparently.
He wrote that on a bus in Guatemala.
A really
yeah.
crowded bus.
Yeah, I've been on crowded buses in Mexico before, I guess. I'm surprised you were able to write. Usually you're thrown all over the place.
It was too crowded.
Hey, Sam, back there on the bass. How you doing?
Dave, nice to see you again.
Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about people you're playing with these days?
Well, I was here last year with Papa Mo and the Vipers. I wore the same shirt.
Did you? Well, it was appropriate then. It's appropriate now.
That's right. And I only have 3 shirts.
All right.
So, Papa Mo and the Vipers still going, playing bars around Boulder, Denver. Mm-hmm. And
Anybody else you're playing with?
Picking up jazz gigs. I play in a praise band at Unity Spiritual Center in Boulder. And, just...
Is that your main gig now, is playing music?
No, but I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
In my dotage.
Yeah. What are you doing in real life then?
I'm semi-retired. I do a podcast. I do freelance public radio. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. And you can survive in Boulder doing that.
Well, the house is paid for and the kids have moved out. So,
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
What brought you to bass?
Oh, well, like a lot of guys, I was about 14, a friend of mine got a guitar, and he said, you should get a bass. So I did.
Oh, so you had somebody that he could play with.
Yes, exactly so. Yeah.
And what brand are you using today?
This is made by a company called Eastwood. It's actually a remake or reissue of a kind of semi-obscure bass from the 70s called the Black Widow, which was made by the Acoustic Company, better known for their amps, see Jaco Pastorius.
Peavey had some Black Widow in it.
This was a kind of a lesser-known one, but it's Eastwood, which is a great company for recreating sort of lesser-known classic guitars of yore. Did this one, yeah.
Quite a neck on that thing.
Yeah, and it's chambered, so it's a sort of semi-hollow body.
So you don't feel like a hunchback when you're done playing it.
Right, yeah. So it's working. Thanks for asking.
All right, nice. Sweet. Well, and I want to get in Steve Jackson back there on the drums. How you doing, Steve?
Good, how are you?
Oh, great. You played with, over the years, a lot of local musicians, too.
Yeah, I have been playing in this area for probably 35 almost years, I would guess. I've played with many people in this county, this big area.
Front Range?
That's for sure, yeah.
Are you from Colorado originally?
No, I'm from San Francisco.
Oh, what brought you from California out here?
My dad.
He had a job, obviously?
We've been in Colorado since 75.
Okay.
And, my family moved to Colorado in 75, and I've still got a lot of family out there in San Francisco, yeah.
Always a drummer?
Always a drummer, percussion. What I was born to do. I just kind of started doing it when I was small and banging and just getting that feel. And
your parents put up with it?
Yeah, they did. My mom worked in a factory, and she used to come home from the factory, and she would take a nap while I was downstairs in the basement practicing and learning.
It was probably quieter than the factory, huh?
Probably was quieter than that punch press she ran, I'm sure.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's how I learned, in the basement with headphones and listening to records from big band, Glenn Miller, all that stuff.
So that was your early influence,
That
was big
my
band
early
jazz, huh?
influences, big band, and whatever my brother had for music too. We had Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, just Pink Floyd, all that stuff. So that's what I learned too. I've still got my drums from high school. So
What brand were they?
they're Ludwig's.
Oh, I don't know why I was going to say that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you have some of those clear plexiglass ones?
No, mine are the Sparkle Blue.
The Ringo Starr style?
Yeah, the Sparkle Blue 5-piece
Nice.
kit that I've had. Yeah, it's forever. So, yeah.
That's good that you're holding on to those.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
your retirement fund now.
Yeah, well, might be. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right. So this goes out to everybody in the band. What's influencing you guys these days? What are you listening to? What's making you want to write music?
Good stories.
Yeah.
Things I want to talk about, things I want to get down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you take notes during the day?
I take a lot of notes. Yeah, I
These
do.
guys are prolific. Every time we get together, they have more and more. They have hundreds of songs.
Always a new song.
We got a song
Yeah.
coming up for you
keep
that
my
we
head
wrote
spinning.
just last month. Bill's got one and I've got one. So if we get to them, we'll.
Well, plus those 5 that you already have in the bag, another album's coming soon. And again, let's push that new album, the Wild Elderberries, Common Ground. And what's the best place for people to get information on the band if they're interested in obtaining your music, seeing your shows?
Sure. We have a website, wildelderberriesband.com. And we have a couple samples there. You can actually order some merch. We have T-shirts. And right now, the songs on the album are available on all the streaming services. And
What's the best place for
Spotify.
people? Spotify? Okay.
Spotify. And we probably, by the time this show comes out, we'll have the CD available on Bandcamp, which, of course, nets us a few more shekels.
And that's
in
where
the
you want people to
process.
go.
So
Good.
it'll be available that way.
And you mentioned the residency there in Loveland,
Right.
that you guys
Right.
hit
We've
once
been
a
playing,
month, but it varies on the date. So
Right.
people would need to check the website. And again, I want to get that. It's a brand new name for the place, and it's called To the Fives in
Right.
Loveland, downtown Loveland.
Downtown Loveland, Fabian and Angie are the owners, managers. They've been great with us. We've been playing there on a regular basis for almost 2 years, maybe a little longer.
That's good.
And
Some Barry heads coming out.
yeah, we have a group of people in primarily Loveland
You call them the Berry Heads,
call
huh?
themselves Berry Heads. and
There's
they're
nothing wrong with that. It's nice
great.
to have
Oh,
it.
they're all wonderful, and it's been a good thing. So we have a show coming up in February, I think the 27th.
Yes, sir.
And then April 24, we're doing a little different thing. It's called Comfy Couch, and it's a program not quite as robust as this, but it's sponsored by Longmont Public Television.
Okay.
And they've just kind of had their first year last year, and we played that last year, and we're coming back there in April on the 24th. And it is similar. They do a live stream, and they end up with a YouTube video of the whole night. But
So
it's a
be on-
singer-songwriter
We'll be
type
listeners be on the
oriented thing.
lookout
Yeah.
for that.
So
Well, what are the next Tommy and Cliffs of Belonius? And I know Tommy's not on the new album, but Cliffs are.
Now, I wrote Tommy just this past month. A friend of mine died right before Christmas, and this is essentially his.
Ode to Tommy.
Yeah, this is it's Tommy to his wife. I'll be with you when the sun comes up from gray to blue like a human touch. And I'll call your name when sun shines on your face, sweet and warm like a long embrace. Time don't mean a thing to me. In between above and below, written in stone, paid in gold.
when the dark night comes in starlight and a walking drum, and I'll call your name when the moon comes up. I'll bring you water in a silver cup. Time don't mean a thing to me. In between above and below, written in stone, written in stone, paid in gold. I'll be with you wherever you go, in thunder and lightning, rainbow. I'll call your name when you need a friend. Echo in the canyon, you'll hear me again. Time don't mean a thing to me. In between above and below, written in stone, written in stone, written in stone, paid in gold, paid in gold.
Out on the western coast, in a tiny tourist town, she wore privilege like a crown, her wealth a shadow ghost, a modern day Maid Marianne. Oh, she's a trustafarian. She just wanted to chill. She loved getting high in the afternoons with us, till the last golden evening light disappeared high above the cliffs of Bolinas. Never-ending praise. She was so beautiful, her minion team so dutiful. In the vacuum of those days, when everybody wants a slide, you got to wonder what's a price. She just wanted to chill. She loved getting high in the afternoons with us, till the last golden evening light disappeared high above the cliffs of Bolinas. a herd of wild, dark horses. With all the underdogs she fed, the rookies and the comeback kids, the long shot sources. She only bets against the spread. The factories and the shibboleths, think the sausage maiden weighed. Even billionaires can make her great. She's not impressed with death. Said it just makes sense, is what you do in self-defense. She just wanted to chill. She loved getting high in the afternoons with us, till the last golden evening light disappeared high above the cliffs of Bolinas. High on those cliffs of Bolinas, running down the fault line, tripping through the air, far from the fury and the fire and the stars, gliding past the air.
The Wild Elderberries here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Want to give a quick shout out to the crew, Eric, Reed, and Dan on the video, and Greg, Colton, and Brendan on the audio today. Thanks, guys. You're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, that's a great crew, Dave. Yeah.
Absolutely. And couldn't do it without them. And also, I'd like to remind all our listeners and viewers that you can always go to our KRFC RadioVision YouTube channel and subscribe. There's a little tab that you click, and it gives you a notification each week on who the artist will be that week, and you can view all the past, present, and future videos on KRFC's Live at Lunch RadioVision YouTube channel. Guys, thanks for coming in today. Really appreciate it. I know one of you had to drive all the way up from Denver and brave I-25, and so or Boulder, I should say. So that's always, you never know what that's going to be like, do you? And, we've got about 8 more minutes left for the show, and I'll leave it up to you guys. Was there something that we didn't touch base on that you'd like to reiterate?
Fortune Bones is, opportunity missed. She was just too cool, and it was the wrong time.
Her loss.
And she had that witchy way of throwing those fortune bones.
Nightbird calling just about midnight. She's waiting on a train. I was trying to make it right. I would have promised anything, even what I did not own. But she'd made her mind up. She'd thrown those fortune bones, and she was gone, long gone, gone for good. She cast them on the table like a spell in the candlelight. She said our fate was there foretold forever from that night. But I care not for bones or signs, I don't know what they say. I hold fast to what is mine, I don't let it get away, get away. She's gone, gone for good. We were a case of empty bottles, dry leaves blowing down the road. She said we didn't fit for nothing, we're in each other's soul. Then she stepped aboard that midnight train. She was gone for good. I hoped we'd meet again, but I knew we never would. We never would. And she's gone, gone for good. Never promised anything. There were no ties that bind, nothing to ease a worried mind. I could have walked beside her down that path she chose, not to lead or guide her, just help carry low. Was my window to a world I didn't know. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't find the door. Sometimes the light that guides you down that narrow line can be the light that blinds you. We were just in the wrong time. She's gone, gone for good. point of view. Any louder doesn't make it true. All over this land, it's them or us. Out on the left, over on the right, right or wrong, black or white. The middle got ground down to dust. So come on down to common ground. If you've ever been lonely, come on down to common ground. You know the way there. Come on down to common ground, and we'll stand together. Come on down to common ground. I got on a midnight train. It's cold, it started to rain. Said goodbye, I never saw her again. But maybe just one more night, everything had been alright. But you can't stop a train, you sure can't stop the rain. So come on down, common ground. If you've ever been lonely, come on down to common ground. If you've ever had a broken heart, come on down to common ground, and we'll stand together. Come on down to common ground. There's a river runs by my home. It cuts right down through the stone, all the way from the mountains, through the prairie and down to the sea. We're all different, but we're all the same. A state of grace in a world of pain. Let the Spirit and the water gonna carry these troubles away from you and me. So come on down to common ground. If you've ever had a broken heart, come on down to common ground. If you've ever needed a friend, come on down. You've ever lost your way, you've ever been so sorry, you've ever wanted a helping hand, well, come on down to common ground. Come on down, come on down to common ground. Come on down to common ground. Come down, come on down to common ground.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.